Thanks, Hutto. I've got the pleasure of reading out the top 5 place getters in the 2015 NAB AFL Rising Star. In 5th place, Angus Brayshaw with 8 votes. In 4th place, Isaac Heaney with 12 votes. In 3rd place, Dom Sheed with 27 votes. And the runner-up in the 2015 NAB AFL Rising Star is Patrick Cripps with 41 votes. And the winner of the 2015 NAB AFL Rising Star is Jesse Hogan with 49 votes.
Congratulations, Jesse. Fantastic performance, mate. How does that feel?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't actually come here with a lot of expectations. I was a bit inconsistent throughout the year, and I thought Cooper and even Dom playing in a solid side, so I wasn't actually didn't set too many expectations on myself. So hasn't quite sunk in.
No, 44 goals in your debut season. That's pretty ordinary, isn't it?
No, mate, it's all the midfield, mate. You've just got to rely on the midfield and everything goes from there, so, yeah.
You mentioned Patrick. I mean, obviously it was a tough call for the judges. Both of you had outstanding seasons, as did Dom and the other boys.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Just quietly roll West Australian boys, just so there's a lot of Victorians, just so you guys know. West Australia's still got a bit of talent, but yeah, like I said, it hasn't quite sunk in, and I honestly still can't believe that. I won this.
Well, it's fully deserved. And now tell us a bit, you talked about West Australia. Oliver Street, Scarborough in Perth. What was it like growing up there?
Yeah, no, honestly I couldn't have asked more as a kid growing up there. I was 2 blocks away from the beach, Scarborough Beach, so I had my brother and my 2 sisters, and we loved it. It was, I had basketball at the front, cricket out the back, beach, I had it all, so I couldn't have asked for much more.
And your brother was, I think, 12 years older than you. What was it like in the backyard then? And I imagine it got pretty competitive, and he would have had a little bit of advantage size and age-wise.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. He sort of beat me up a little bit, and that was sort of my main drive when I went and played sport. I was obviously a bit bigger than most other kids, so him beating me up, I just went out and took it out on some younger kids in the other comp, unfortunately.
Tell me about the dungeon.
The dungeon. I wasn't probably the most academic kid going up through high school. I was a bit more of a video game surfer. I was sort of probably mum wasn't too proud of me. I had a lot of half days, and whenever the new COD or the new video game would come out, I'd probably take 2 sick days off school, and she'd try to get me out of bed, and I was, "No, Mum, you're having a laugh. Just call school now, and I'll see him on Wednesday." So that's the dungeon.
So the dungeon was down at the bottom of the house, and you were a star on PlayStation. Tell us then about the dream of playing AFL footy. Was it something that you always had?
I was always doing some sport. I started with basketball. I love basketball. I always wanted to be a basketball or a cricketer. So it wasn't from the start that I wanted to be a footballer, but realistically, I thought football was probably the one for me. And all my friends played, so that for me that was probably the easy decision.
And you got picked up by Melbourne. Tell us about your first trip with the club to Darwin.
Oh, absolute nightmare. And I'm not even exaggerating. There's a lot of bad camps, but this one was on a whole nother level. I probably only did the first 3 sessions, and then I ended up getting real crook, and I was just on a real bad place. So, but no, honestly, I did pretty well. I actually didn't have to do a lot of the sessions because I was sick. But for what I did do, also apologies, it was very difficult. The weather up there and the humidity was an absolute nightmare. So, yeah.
Well, it was welcome to AFL. It was a funny year for your first year, though, because you weren't able to play AFL as you were picked up in the mini draft. How did you cope with that? You obviously coped pretty well. You went to Casey, you kicked, I think, 40 goals, won the best and fairest.
Yeah, obviously it was a strange one. There wasn't too many of us that came through that sort of draft. There was only 4 of us that did it. So Yeah, it was obviously different, and I was 17, and I was still, I wasn't even sure if I was going to go. I sort of nominated, thinking, this is my dream. I want to play it. So I thought, why not? I may as well go over and get that extra year's experience, that year of being in the system without actually being in the system. And overall, looking back at it, it's probably the best thing for me. I had that perfect stepping stone, like I said before, and so yeah, I couldn't have asked for much more.
But then a difficult year where you couldn't play because of injury. How did you cope with that challenge at such a young age with a back problem?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's footy. No one gets the perfect fairy tale, and you can't just write your own script. You never know what's going to happen. Every day, every game, something could happen. So it obviously wasn't ideal, but at the same time, it was a massive learning experience for me. I was probably thinking I was invincible and can do whatever I wanted and go surf, skate, and then do a main training session 3 hours later. But realistically, that's your body can't quite handle that. And for me, just for the professionalism side of it, that was probably a massive thing for me that I can look back on and learn from.
You played down your performance this year, but it really has been sensational. For a young man up forward, do you feel at home in AFL footy? And tell us about the enjoyment, the season, coming up against some of those gun full-backs and really holding your own and more.
Yeah, obviously you play your first game, and especially for myself, I had 2 years waiting for that first game, and you sort of sit there after the game. We had a win, thankfully, and sort of think, well, this is it, this is, and it was just the best feeling ever, just being with the boys. And we obviously, a win for the Melbourne's a lot more big of a deal than it is for, say, Hawthorn at the moment. So that's the thing, we're just sort of still developing and learning the ropes. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving every minute of it.
Well, they tell me that you're Roosy's pet, and I'm told that when you're late for training,
Angus.
When you're late for training, I'm told the others get in trouble for being too early. Is that true?
No, I don't know where you got that from, what your source is.
Angus told me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. No, not at all. Not at all. Rizzy's been very good to me. He's been, I think he's dealt with some high-profile players before. Not high-profile, but that have come in with a bit of pressure, and he's done it perfectly for me. I couldn't have asked for much more.
Well, tell us then about your hopes for the future with the D's. Finish the year nicely with a win. What are your expectations over the next few years, and how determined are you for Melbourne fans out there to have that success?
Yeah, obviously, I'm a super competitive guy, and I think that's, the biggest thing we're looking for in players at the club at the moment is that competitive edge, not so much the talent. If they haven't got that drive and will to win, they're not quite going to cut it. And we've made a few mistakes before, but I think the core group that we've got now of young kids that really want to win and have that real competitive edge, and just you can see it in their eyes, they just hate losing. So, we got that core group, and I think we didn't quite get as many wins as we wanted this year, and people are saying we didn't have a good year, but we learned a lot this year, and we're gonna be a good side. We just need to grow and believe in ourselves, and we'll get there.
Well, congratulations on your year. You can stop shaking, mate. Just let you say a few thank yous. I know your family's here with you in the room. I'm sure there's lots of people you'd like to thank for getting this far far away.
Cheers, Hutto. Yeah, I'll keep it short. Obviously, I'm not exactly too comfortable up here. It's not really my scene, so. As the dungeon mentioned. So, firstly, I'd just like to thank NAB. What they're doing for the AFL and the grassroots system is second to none. They couldn't do it any better. So, it's a credit to them, and they'll continue to do what they're doing. Secondly, the Melbourne Football Club for giving me the opportunity to go out and live my dream, and the football department, for the way they've treated me and the way they've gone about me as a player and on and off the field has been super important, and it's been a good start, and I'm really enjoying it. Obviously my family's here. I'm probably not the easiest guy to get a hold of. They call me a lot, and sometimes I don't answer, and Mum gets a bit cranky, but I know they're always back at home rooting for me, and I couldn't ask for much more than them. My dad came over last year when my back was crook, and I lived with him, and he'd cook for me and do all the things that make you feel like you're at home. So yeah, obviously family is probably one of the biggest, or it is the biggest thank you I could possibly have. So I'll keep it short. That's it.
Well, Jesse's left the stage, but I would like to congratulate him once again on being the 2015 NAB AFL Rising Star, and I'd ask everyone to stand for one round of applause for our winner this year. So what a wonderful group of young players they are. We wish them all the best, particularly those that are headed off for finals action. And we look forward to a huge round of AFL footy, a massive week of finals coming up. Let's hope you enjoy it. Once again, congratulations to all our nominees today and to Jessie Hogan, who's this year's 2015 NAB AFL Rising Star winner.